As October BTO comes to a close, let's discuss what the application rate looks like. Let's talk also about which projects are popular, which projects are not popular, and what can we learn from this launch. Note that I'm showing the application rate as of the filming of the video, so the numbers will still swing until the application deadline is reached. Let's start with the application rate for 2-room flexi. If we look at the big picture, overall the application rate to almost all projects for first-timer singles are through the roof. Oh my god! See, 23, 17, 31, etc. I think only Jurong West application rate is still reasonable. The rest is really high. Why is this so? Well, according to HDB, for 2-room flexi, they are allocating at least 40% or minimum of 100 units for seniors. So for example, you can see Central Trio at Ang Mo Kio. It only has 155 2-room flexi, right? Well, 40% times 155 is 62, which is under 100. Not enough options for seniors. That means 100 units at Central Trio Ang Mo Kio is allocated for seniors, which leaves only 55 units for first-timer families, first-timer singles, and second-timer families. The same logic goes for other projects as well. So actually, no wonder that first-timer singles application rate becomes super high. Not to mention that starting this batch, singles can apply to 2-room flexi in any project, not just the non-mature area. So I guess that explains why the median is so high at 23.9 as of now. I hope someone in HDB or in the government pay attention to this trend though, because clearly there's not enough 2-room flexi BTO for singles. Really. And probably for seniors, perhaps some of the seniors who applied for 2-room flexi would have applied for CCA if they know more about what that is. It's basically a senior-friendly housing where you can have care services for seniors. So actually, it's a good deal if you are one. Now, let's talk about the application rate for 3-room and bigger BTO flats. As expected, you see here, Central Trio at Ang Mo Kio is very popular. There are more than 1,500 applicants eyeing for 267 4-room flats, making the application rate 3.6 for first-timer families. And of course, the application rate for the second-timer families is even crazier. Currently, it's at 46.1, which is amazing. Next up, we have the 3 Bedok project, which is Bayshore Vista, Bayshore Palms, and Kembangan Wave. Interestingly, HDB this time did not break down the application rate per project as they used to. I heard from one of the viewers that now HDB only allows you to pick a town and the flat type, but you cannot pick a specific project. Is that true? Please comment down below if you have experience because you happen to apply in this BTO round. Because I didn't apply, so I wouldn't know. Let me know in the comment down below what is your experience look like. Anyway, as expected, the application rate for these 3 Bedok projects are still lower than the Central Trio at Ang Mo Kio, although Bayshore Vista and Bayshore Palms might have a good potential future down the line, but the reality is, the Bayshore area will probably need another decade until it fully matures and convenient. Until then, it won't be so easy to live surrounded by construction sites and deal with the noises. It would be interesting though if they could show the breakdown, because I'm guessing Kembangan Wave should be more popular than Bayshore Vista or Bayshore Palms because it is literally next to Kembangan MRT station and will be integrated with 5-story building that has health facilities, supermarket, eating house, and many more. The 3-room application rate for first-timer families here is only 1.5, which is not so surprising because I understand that many people hesitate with the 10-year MOP if it's a 3-room unit because it will be too tight for those who wants to start a family and it's a bit too long until they can upgrade. West Brickfield at Bukit Batok surprises me. Apparently, there is quite a lot of interest in this project, and I guess pricing also comes to play because West Brickfield is one of the budget-friendly option and there should be a new MRT station nearby when you are ready to collect your keys. Next is Merpati Alcove. I'm actually quite shocked because this application rate is kinda low considering this project is literally next to Matar MRT station. Well, you know what? I have a crazy theory. Not sure whether you agree or not, but I think the name Merpati Alcove is not so ideal. Why? Because it does not instinctively reflect which area is this. For example, Kembangan Wave. clearly at Kembangan, right? Bayshore Vista, clearly at Bayshore. Even Costa Riviera, although it's not screaming Pasir Ris, but Costa means beach in Spanish and Riviera reminds people of a holiday, so it's still somewhat relatable. But Merpati Alcove, you do know that Merpati basically means dove, right? Which is like a bird. So the name Merpati Alcove doesn't really tell me where is this exactly, and as you know, location is very important for Singapore property market. I don't know, guys, if I am the head honcho at HDB, I would probably name it something like, Matar Grandeur or something. Because at the end of the day, marketing still matters. Anyway, next is Taman Jurong Skyline. Not surprised. I told you from the start, this project will be at the lower end of interest and a little bit difficult to sell because it is what it is. It's very far from any MRT station and there is no future plan to build one nearby. But hey, if you want to look at it from a positive side, I guess it's a good news for people who are applying here because if your application rate is less than 1, right? Meaning it is almost guaranteed that you would get a flat here. And the MOP is only 5 years anyway, right? So, after MOP, if you want, you can sell and then buy something else closer to MRT station. Okay, next, we have the Big 3 project at Kallang Whampoa, which bundles Kallang View, Towner Breeze, and Crawford Heights. I'm actually quite shocked that the 3-room is undersubscribed for this area. I do understand that people hesitate with the 10-year MOP for a 3-room project, but I thought that the location would make up for it, but apparently not. Even the 4-room application rate for first-timer is not as high as I thought. Currently, it's at 2.3. My guess is probably families hesitate to apply, particularly to Crawford Heights and Kallang View because there's no primary and secondary school nearby. I mean, that's the tricky part about living near CBD, right? It's easier to get to work, but if you have school-age children and there's no school within the 2-kilometer radius, then it's kind of tough. Next one, we have Costa Riviera at Pasir Ris. This is the project that we all thought would be a plus, but somehow ended up being classified as a standard. I mean, clearly, if you love the east area and doesn't mind the commute, then this is a great buy. Near MRT station, near many malls, got good school options and only 5-year MOP. No wonder that this project is so popular. I'm surprised so many people gunning for the 5-room and the 3-gen though, because historically, actually if you look at the numbers, 4-room flat tends to be more profitable than a 5-room in the long run, but perhaps the applicants here prefer a bigger house, which, nothing wrong with that. And then next we have the 2 project at Sengkang, which is Fernvale Oasis and Fernvale Sales. Pretty decent demand at 2 point something. If you don't mind the commute, these 2 projects are actually reasonable choices near LRT station, got some school options, a very friendly entry price, only 5-year MOP, etc. And last but not least, Marsiling Ridge at Woodlands. Wow, more people want to live here even versus Merpati Alcove and Kallang Whampoa. That is surprising to me. I guess affordability also matters in this case. Marsiling Ridge is not exactly the cheapest one on this launch, but it's still quite decent. So overall, as you can see here, the median for 3-room and bigger flats application rate is currently stands at 2.3 for first timer and 26 for second timer. Of course, again, this number will still fluctuate until the application time actually closes. If you are applying in this BTO launch, I wish you all the best. Hope you are lucky with the ballot and get a good queue number. But if you are not lucky this time, don't worry. The next BTO launch is in February. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.